You all know that about 3 parts of the planet Earth is full of water and 1 part is of land. Now we can understand that how much important and the enormous necessity of the water in this planet Earth to balance everything. Let me ask you a question. How many planets do you have in our solar system? Or how many stars and the galaxies are there in this universe? At least some significant planets, you can tell that it is 8 planet or 9 planet. If Pluto is considered to be planet, it's a 9 planet. And millions of the stars in these galaxies and also other galaxies are also available, scientists says. But have anybody find the significant presence of the life in other galaxies or other any planet? No, big no. Because they don't have the amicable atmosphere to grow light. So what is this amicable atmosphere? One is the right atmosphere, right environment. Another is right temperature, and another is also the presence of the water. Because the initiation of any life was started from the water. What we know. Now you can understand the presence of water, the significance of the presence of the waters in our life. Now let me ask you a question. Before that, I am Gautam Kumar Chakraborty. I am here and you are going to learn why water is important in our life and what is the importance of being hydrated properly in our life. Now, tell me, what are the necessity of the life? Be it a plant or be it an animal, water is essential element. And you know that most of the animal cannot produce their food and they are totally dependent on the producer, that is the green trees and the plants, which produce with the help of the water and the carbon dioxide, with the help of chlorophyll, the glucose. And that glucose is again developed in many kind of the food. And what the herbivores, they eat those green plants and the grasses, and after that carnivores eat the fleshes of the herbivores. Like that, this is the food chain. Now you understand this water's importance. But can I ask you a question? That what percentage of the human body have the water? Please note that around 60 to 65% of the human body consists of the water. Now you understand that what is the importance of the water. And for your, you know all, if we cut anywhere in our body, we'll find that the red blood is coming out. What is meant for blood? Blood is necessary for carrying the food, for carrying the oxygen and taking out the unwanted carbon dioxide, which is developed because of the energy productions in our body, in our cells, and we are draining out. All this happens because of bloods and some other organs. And if you say it is the lungs for carrying oxygen, for carrying carbon dioxide, preliminary it is true. Through lungs we are taking the oxygens, and after that ultimately through blood only, oxygenated blood is transporting the fresh oxygen in the different cells, including the brain. And what I told, that 60 to 65% of the human body is full of the waters. And if you consider the brain consists of the more water, around 75%. And for an infant, it is also 70 to 75% of the waters in the infant's body. So water is essential element for the human being or for any other animal for sustenance and for living. For human body, let's discuss. I told you the blood. Blood becomes liquid only because of the presence of the water. Apart from the blood, there are the lymph, which is also another kind of the fluid, and many hormones. Those are also fluids, which is required to become fluid in the functional state because of the water. If you do not take water for the long time, your brain will give you the signal. Sometimes your brain will cease to work properly, and you can observe that your efficiency in the brain will be decreased drastically. Next, if you do not take enough water, you cannot digest your food and you will be tummy upset, and after that you will suffer a lot. Your bones, your tooth, your eyes, everywhere water is required. In our mouth, what is there? Saliva. Saliva is also the essential component of the water. Tears. Our eye become lubricated because of the presence of the water. All these things inside the body is water in the different percentage. Similarly, the transmission from the brain to the different part of the body, it is also happening because of the transfer of the electron, because of the ions, in the transfer of the electricity in the form of the ions. And that also happens because of the presence of the water only. Without water, our nervous system will become dry. It will not be functional. Our excretory systems will also not be functional up to the full efficiency. And that's why if you do not take any water for the 6 hours, 8 hours, you will find that your urine will turn into deep yellow and even more. In some cases also near to the red color also you will find out. I myself have observed in my life, because of the chemistry practical class, I had to stand in the practical class for the long hours and I forgot to take any water. And that day, after returning home at 7 p.m. after the classes and after attending the practical classes, I found that I have the intention to urinate, but I am unable to urinate. And after a lot of trial, when I peed, when I urinated, at that time I find that it is nearly reddish color. I was afraid. I was scared. And immediately I talked to my mom. Mom advised me that take plenty of the water right now. And I took. And immediately after 40 minutes, I found that, okay, I am turning towards the normalcy after taking water. So no need to go through any books or any knowledge to take the water, to understand the importance of the water. You can easily understand from this rough data that 60 to 65% of our body consists of water. And that's why water is needed for any function inside the body, be it digestion, be it transportation through blood and the functioning of the brain, and through neurotransmission through the electricity. For everything you need the presence of the water. Without proper water, you will feel yourself sick. But how to remind yourself? Sometimes because of the work, because of the professions, we forget. Just for my examples, I told you that during the chemistry practical classes, I forgot to take water. Initially, I couldn't realize that it is harmful for me. But to maintain our normal life, it's required to become hydrated with a little sip water time to time, so that water level cannot be reduced. In summer, what happens? Because maintaining our body temperature, our body sweats, and after that, a lot of dehydration happens. But in such cases, it's your duty to keep yourself hydrated properly. Be it a fruit juice, be it a coconut oil, or any other drinks, but there is no alternate for water, pure water. So be sure, take time to time pure water. And for an adult, it is around 3 to 3.5 liters of water it is required in our life, to maintain our life in 24 hours. So don't reduce your water intake and be healthy. That's all importance about taking water. Thank you.